Hello and welcome to the second episode of From a Basement in Tulsa. I'm Jason Ferguson. In this episode, I have my friend, a Tulsa-based comedian named Michael Zampino. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening. And by the way, congrats on your engagement, man. Hello, Michael. Welcome to From a Basement in Tulsa. Welcome to my weird little basement with random plants growing on the walls and probably...
It's good to be here.
Thanks, man.
I feel like your parents are definitely upstairs. Is that
No, they're not.
Cool. That's awesome.
So, you are a local comic. I saw you winning a... Explain that. What did you win? I just saw you win.
2013 Tulsa Comedy Competition at the Looney Bin Comedy Club.
How cool, man.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun.
I went to see... actually, a couple people I know were in that, and three even.
Wasn't Eric one of them?
Eric was one.
AKA E-Train.
E-Train. He just moved, which is, good for him. I saw him. I saw a video of him that Hanson or Jim Gaffigan posted hanging out with Hanson, and E-Train was in that picture, like in that video.
That sounds about right.
I was like, what? How cool he's hanging out with.
He's that guy that you're like, he knows everything.
Yeah, but for good reason. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He actually, I think
very talented.
He played some bass on my album too.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything, I feel like.
And then, who was the guy in the finals that night with you?
Let's see. Drew Welcher, a young lady, took second place.
She's hilarious.
And then third place was C.R. Parsons, the
lawyer.
big burly lawyer that sounds like
great.
a Muppet.
Yeah, I feel like that guy's probably done some acid.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. He has a few shitty tattoos, so it's almost a guarantee.
No, it's Ryan Jones. I don't know why it took so long. Ryan Jones is my good buddy.
Yeah, I like Ryan a lot. He and I have a lot of safety meetings before shows. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's the same thing as a music safety meeting right before a show. I feel that.
Prayer circle.
So great. What got you into comedy, man? Did you just up in one day do it, or?
Well, I always loved stand-up, and I thought about it many, many times, but I always talked myself out of it, because I played music through most of my 20s, and that's like all I wanted to do, but it was always in the back of my mind as something I loved, and I thought I might be able to do it, but, once it got down to, like, actually thinking about having to write material and, come up with stuff on a regular basis and do all that, and I talked myself out of it until I was 29. It was January of 2010, and I just kind of had that void of I hadn't been playing music in a few years, and so I wasn't doing anything. I had no like creative output. I didn't have that thing, and so I just finally decided, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. And I wrote what was probably about 10 minutes worth of stuff, and then picked out 5. Went and signed up. Ended up doing really well my very first time out, and caught the bug, as they say, and did horrible the next time, probably the next couple times, but would almost always consistently get at least 1 or 2 laughs in a set, and it kept me going, and now I'm stuck.
Good, man. I really enjoyed your set. I haven't played a new song in probably close to a year, if not a year, but I've played probably 30 Tulsa shows. Do you think you could get away with that?
Doing that many shows without writing something new? I kind of do already. Whereas I tend to write something new about once a month, give or take. I'll throw one new joke in there amongst all the classics. But it's, I don't know, it's almost a little bit easier to do that with comedy because people don't consistently go to see you multiple times as the way they do musicians. Like, they'll see a band and they're like, I'm gonna go see that band again, whereas your friends will see you do comedy, and after the second time they see you, you're like, all right, I've heard your jokes, I'm over it. And then it gets a lot harder to get people to come out to your shows.
Do you feel like transferring from playing music to comedy helped your stage presence at all, or helped you get up on stage at all, or is it a whole new world?
I definitely was a lot more ready to get up on stage, having spent so much time on stage already. The biggest difference was going from having other people around me, the band, to being just me on an island with a microphone.
Yeah.
That was the biggest transition, and I was mostly terrified about the material being good. I felt like I felt like I understood comedy well enough to already know how to format a joke and how to deliver a joke, and that that part wasn't really the hardest part for me. The hardest part was writing good jokes. So that was the biggest transition. But yeah, it was. I kind of miss the music aspect, whereas if I fuck up, there's people to hide behind, but when it's just you talking, don't fuck up.
What's fun about is when I have a band, I'm playing with such professionals that if anybody's messing up, it's probably me, and it's really embarrassing, but it's good for me because everybody expects it to be the other dudes, and I don't like call them out, but it's like, haha, suckers, it was me. But but to look at the drummer for playing the wrong beat when I'm playing the wrong song entirely.
Right.
Poor guy. Sorry, Brian. But I can definitely tell the difference. I can relate with the difference of playing by yourself and playing with a band.
You do a lot of solo acoustic
mostly
stuff,
solo
right?
acoustic.
That's what I thought.
Which is, I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's actually one thing I still don't have the balls to do, is go sing and play just me. Like, because I still play guitar all the time, and like, I'd probably still sing in a band maybe, but like, as far as and I'll get on stage just by myself and tell stupid jokes all day, but getting up there just me and a guitar and singing, that scares the shit out of me.
I feel more comfortable doing that. I mean,
it didn't used to, but it does more now that I'm older and fatter.
I ask if the transition as well, because that's something I consider maybe one day. I want to write a comedy set and see if I can do it, just see how it is. Because every time I go, they or not every time I go to Looney Bin, but a lot of times the gentleman that teaches the classes is there, and he's always like,
Roy?
he's like, just sign up, you can do it, anybody do it.
That's the guy I just started the other podcast. Roy Johnson.
Go ahead and say the podcast. What's that?
It's called Route 66 Breakdown. Route66breakdown.com.
Awesome. So I know the other guy a little bit too. He's hilarious as well.
Yeah, Roy's it's fun, man. We got an interesting dynamic with me and Roy. He's pretty right, I'm pretty left, and then we have our third guy is Jeff Thomas, who was also, I believe, in the finals that time. He's kind of more on my side, the left side, but he tends to actually hit Roy a little harder than I do.
So you guys just bash each other a lot for your podcast?
Well,
or bash?
Not really. Jeff and Roy do a little bit.
That's good.
There's some underlying pent-up sexual frustration.
Of course, that's generally the thing.
But Roy's class is actually going to start up again at the end of the month. So if this hits before the end of the month, people still have a chance to sign up. And I did the graduation show for the one that just finished, and all 5 of the graduates had very impressive sets for first time comics. So does wonders.
I feel like it'd be cool to just get the idea down, like going to a guitar lesson, just get what people are looking for, or what you're looking for writing. Because I just recently realized how much like work that is. Listening to too many podcasts by comedians.
There are still people on this planet that think that stand-up comedians get on stage and go, a priest and a rabbi walk into a bar, because constantly will come up to comics and say, oh, I got a great one, two rednecks, blah blah blah, and you're like, have you ever seen a stand-up comedian? Like,
I don't remember why I went the first time, but it was, man, Looney Bin's a blast. I haven't been to the downtown one, even though I live a fucking mile away now. The Parlor.
It's very different from the Looney Bin, but it's pretty cool. It has kind of a swanky basement. I don't know. Swanky's not the word.
I mean, but basement, kinda, I'm into that.
Yeah, see, it's kind of got a I might get murdered here feel.
Yeah, just like this. This is great. Mm-hmm.
I'll be there on the 30th of May at the Comedy Parlor.
It's right on Archer, right? Or
no, it's First and Elgin.
First and Elgin. So it's right next to the new liquor store.
It's basically under El Guapo.
Oh, perfect.
9 times out of 10, when you're doing a show at the Comedy Parlor, you can hear everything that happens at El Guapo.
That's probably good to have.
It's super annoying. It's very distracting as a performer. When you're trying to remember your dick jokes.
Yes.
People are dropping plates upstairs. It's unprofessional is what I mean. No,
I'm sure they'll fix that.
It's a good place. But the Looney Bin's a lot of fun. I love performing there. That's kind of, I guess you'd consider it my home base.
I think the best I don't know if it's the best show. The most memorable show because he got so famous. I saw there was Orny Adams. That dude cracked me up.
I've heard good things about his show, but I've never seen his show.
He was real dang funny. He ended up like being the coach on Teen Wolf. So he doesn't respond to my tweets anymore. He's too cool. Orny Adams did a joke about having an iPhone taser. He's like, and being able to tase people with your iPhone. That's what you need instead of whatever. iTase. Well, and so then I went and looked because I was wasted, and there's an iTase app on iTunes. I went up and told him, I was like, hey man, I don't know if you should be using that material because I created this app and that's mine. And because the drunk guy obviously thinks he can get over on a comedian that does this for a living.
Always.
He's like, so when did you create that? And I was like, 7 years ago. And he was like, I've been doing that joke for fucking 15 years, so looks like you owe me some commission or whatever, some royalties. And I was like, I'm done.
Touche. I always tell people that when you're drunk and you're at a comedy show and you feel like you should say something out loud, don't.
Well, these are both after
the shows,
at the merch table.
You can pretty much, that's unavoidable, because once the show is over, the rules are over, and then it becomes the fucking Wild West.
So at least I was giving them money while I was being an idiot. It's like, I'm buying a shirt.
Oh, you bought a shirt.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want to a
CDs
comedian. Here's the thing, with a comedian that has merch, if you're going to buy something, they will put up with your drunken nonsense for at least 5 to 10 minutes.
I feel like they'd rather me be as drunk as possible because that's where I'm going to spend all the money.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's a dangerous line, though, because you're either drunk enough to buy merch or drunk enough to heckle. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've heckled.
That's good. It's bad news.
Because I listen to people talk about how much they hate hecklers. There's even a documentary on it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting.
So
Jamie Kennedy.
Luckily, I haven't been that dumb.
Yeah. It's basically, people that most of the time people genuinely believe, like, I'm helping the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's their mindset, but it's just really about, like, they need the show to be about them. And most, comedians will have a line about, like, there's so many classic heckler lines, like, everybody paid their ticket price, but nobody paid to hear you.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It all works.
What's your favorite? What's like is it when you won the most accomplished? Like, when did you feel like the most accomplished?
Oh, God, I still don't.
I get that too.
Yeah.
At least for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that contest win was pretty big for me. Cause I don't know, the thing about comedy being judged is in my heart, I know that comedy can't be judged, but at the end of the day, when you enter something like that, you're still competitive, and you still want to win. And the year before, I came in second, and so it really started to mean something.
Yeah. And
so that was really big. And then getting to finally work as an MC, and getting booked for a week at a time, and getting to open for awesome comics and do 6 shows with them and learn a lot and really start to hone it in. Like, that's been the coolest thing so far, for sure, is having them give me money.
Yeah,
for doing it. That's the best.
I remember the first time I got paid for like decent pay at a gig. I was just amazed. It was at Blue Rose here in Tulsa. My friends,
the old one or
the newer one.
Okay,
I don't even remember where the old one was.
It's where our bar is now.
Oh, definitely the new one. That makes a lot of sense. Wow.
Yeah, it was our bar, then it was Blue Rose, and it was Steamroller Blues, and then it was I think it was just Steamroller
Brew House.
I did sound for Afro Man there.
at Brew House? At our bar?
At our bar.
Oh, nuts. Outdoors. I remember that happening.
Yeah, I did the sound for that, me and my buddy Jason. That
sounds like an intense night.
It was fun. Yeah, we did 2 shows. We did one at my cousin's house and one at our bar.
How awesome. I can't imagine how cool that was.
You know who was cooler than Afro Man? Afro Man's dad, who tours with him.
Nice.
Like, that's his tour. That's his road crew. This is dad.
How awesome. That would have been awesome.
And he calls his son Afro Man. He refers to him as Afro Man. I think that's hilarious. He's like, Afro Man needs something to drink. I'm like, I love you, old black guy. You're cool as shit. You're cool, man.
But the new Blue Rose, I was playing with my friends, Able to Allies. I just came up. I just went to see them. They're like, hey, come play a couple songs. And I played one song. I was like, I'm done playing. And then the manager came up and was like, "Hey, we'd like to book you sometime," and for like a Sunday afternoon acoustic thing. And I was like, "Cool, let's look at that. I'll give you my number." And they said, "No, let's do it now. Let's write it in." And so they wrote in a date a couple weeks later, and they're like, "Is $350 okay?" And I was like, "Yeah."
See,
and I was like, "I've got 45 minutes." He
That's
goes,
awesome.
and they're like, "That's cool. Just play that 45 minutes, take a break. Play that 45 minutes again, take a break. Play that 45 minutes again. You're good." And I was like, nuts. Blew me away. I mean,
wow.
It's not the same anymore. Like, I don't think Tulsa bands make that much at restaurants anymore.
Cover bands. Holy shit.
Yeah.
They
And
make so
I only
much
knew like
money.
3 cover songs then. So it was all my stuff, and it was weird because it was people were just eating all day, and it was...
And listening to your originals.
Yeah.
You're pouring your heart out and they're
Yeah.
eating nachos. That's one thing that I couldn't do as a musician. Was I was a horrible lyric writer because I can't take myself seriously. Like, I can write jokes because I don't take myself seriously, but trying to write songs and actually pour my heart out always came out really, I don't know, cynical.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Well-
and then you're up there just like because I imagine your originals, especially playing acoustic stuff, is probably some pretty heartfelt shit.
Yeah, definitely.
People are digging into their nachos, and you're getting
Talking
it
about
all.
crying for 3 months and
Right.
my
That's
tears
a tough gig.
I never thought. I mean,
Hey, that's
it's
all right.
it's a weird gig.
I did comedy at a pizza place within the last year.
Oh.
In Arkansas.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I was telling my stupid jokes while people were eating pizza. They still liked it, but it was weird.
Yeah, I'm sure. Playing music anytime anytime it's just food.
Yeah, but when they give you money for it, you definitely kind of
It makes it takes the edge off.
I had that the first time I got paid to do comedy. I had that a few seconds of where I felt like, suckers. Oh man, you just paid me to do that? That is awesome. But the first paying gig I ever had was at a sports bar at the hotel at 81st in Lewis area. What is it, at Hilton?
No idea. Possibly.
Marriott? I don't know. Anyways, it was this sports bar, and they paid me $80 for a show. I did 3 shows, I think. It was $80 per show, and it was awful because there was there was like nobody there except for like kind of uppity business people that were all there like just trying to do business.
Yeah.
And also it was the playoffs and the Thunder playoffs, the basketball playoffs, which I'm a big Thunder fan, but when I'm trying to do a show, I want the TV to be turned off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they turned off the one that was directly behind the stage we were on, but every other TV remained on and at full volume while we attempted to tell jokes. And of the shows, the guy I did the shows with was really cool. His name is Peter Barrera. If you happen to ever hear this dude, what up? But had a lot of fun with him. But the only of the shows, we had 2 guys that listened and dug our shit, and they were 2 British guys who were in the like Royal Air Force, and they ended up buying us drinks till like 2 a.m.
So that worked out.
That was brutal, but it was seriously. It's still to this day one of the most brutal places I've ever worked. But it was the first one to pay me for it.
I actually pretty often will turn down a gig if it's somewhere where there's TVs close,
where you're not gonna,
because it's just the worst. I remember the most embarrassed me. I was playing at a place in Jinx. I think it was maybe called George's Pub or something. And it was during OU playoffs one year, not playoffs, but OU season, because college football doesn't have playoffs, right? Right.
They're going to. They're about to.
So pre playoffs,
right?
Pre years playoffs, whatever it was. But I at the time was a big Oklahoma fan. I kind of just quit watching TV entirely for some weird reason. But I remember finishing a song and like getting this huge applause and just being stoked. It was like the first song I played at this bar, and like, whoa! And then like
Touchdown.
like open my eyes, looked down, and it was a touchdown. And I was like, well, this is embarrassing. Yeah, for sure. But
that's false applause, man. That hurts.
luckily, since nobody was watching, there's nobody to be embarrassed of. It's just myself. Like nobody saw me like celebrating that I got that big cheer.
Yeah, because they were all looking at the TV.
But what I found people doing, which you turn the TV off behind you, is I've seen a couple bands start playing in front of the TV. So at least like have the TV up above them or whatever. At least they're looking in the right direction. I played at I played in so many bars here.
Yeah.
One bar in Tulsa where they were playing a game, and it was an open mic night. I was doing for a friend, and the whole crowd was literally turned the other way watching the TV, like the whole room. And I was like, yeah.
Well, then the other risk you run is if you turn it off, then they immediately resent you because you made them turn the TV off. Then they turn around and listen spitefully. And
I think that's worse. That's more okay to play music to somebody listening spitefully because it doesn't.
Oh yeah, telling jokes to people that are listening spitefully never works. Because if you're already mad at the person with the microphone, you're not going to laugh at anything they have to say. I mean, you might, but that comic's going to have to work real fucking hard to get you on board.
I can't. At least comedy clubs, people are obviously going there to see comedy, and that's
the best thing. Yeah, when you're at a bar show, most of the time, there's some people that came for the comedy show, but there's just those people that just came there to drink. That's where they went to drink, and they have no idea that people are about to get on stage and talk. You know what I mean? And
same thing for music.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it kind of sometimes really makes me mad when some people came to see me, and then a bunch didn't. They're just being loud and obnoxious, so the people can't hear when I'm in a bar with a huge PA and a band, I should not be able to hear the crowd talk over the music.
Right.
And if they can, then the people that pay to get in to see me can't hear the music either. And it's like, I've really pulled back from playing gigs like that almost entirely.
Well, and then the other thing is that, when you're playing music, and people are being loud around it, your music becomes background noise. And then, as a comedian, if you're up there talking and other people are being loud, your voice becomes just noise.
Yep.
The words, get muffled, and all they hear is and that's basically all the crowd can hear. Even if they're trying to hear you, they're looking at your face and your lips, but all they hear is the dickheads over in the corner that just won't shut the fuck up.
I feel like I should still say, even though I just talked about a few bad times playing music, even when I walked away from that, if it was going bad on stage, I still was super pumped I was getting to play music somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I feel like I gotta say that because I don't want to feel like I'm a big downer. Like, oh yeah, I don't
think I've ever really. I mean, I've had a couple shows where after I was done, I was like, I kind of wish I didn't do that show. But for the most part, I'm genuinely still happy to perform every time I perform anywhere. And I try to stay that way.
I think it's cool. Like, you said something about that before we started recording. It's cool when, like, you can help something with your art. Like you sold a show to a charity.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. My girlfriend's daughter goes to Zero International School, and we organized a little party to auction off for the parents so that they have a fun thing to do without the kids. And I got me and two of my buddies are doing it, and they're doing it for free. And it's just a cool thing that we could do. So some of the other parents had a cool, night to go out and get drunk and hear people tell stupid jokes.
So I think that's just the coolest. I played it a few, like, Relay for Lives, and
there's another one, actually, if you don't mind me mentioning it, Saturday the 17th at the Shrine, which is a benefit for one of the girls in the local burlesque troupe, the Tulips Burlesque. Her father passed away, and we're doing a benefit to raise money for their family, and all the bills and everything that goes with someone passing.
Incredibly expensive.
Absolutely, and I believe her mom can't work due to injury, and so it's just one of those snowball things. So I'm doing that, and that's going to be a cool thing because it's going to be comedy and a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, and Shrine, I think, would be great. Have you ever performed at Shrine before?
Yeah. I actually used to work there when it was the venue.
Oh, nice.
Back in the day. And
a long time ago.
The last time I did comedy there, I actually confessed to Donnie that one time on the clock, I got a BJ in my van at the venue.
That's why you work at a venue.
No, I have fond memories of that place.
Yeah, so I feel like it's got a tall stage and chairs. I feel like that'd be great.
It's fun.
Great.
When people show up, it's great.
It's the 17th?
Yeah.
I'll try to make sure people hear this before the 17th.
Awesome. And yeah, there's no ticket price. It's just they make a donation.
Try to help
give them something.
That's cool.
Yeah, I say if you give less than $5, you're kind of a dick. But it's just me. I keep looking at this picture of Danica Patrick on your Sanyo box.
I didn't know who that was. Oh, yeah, I totally know who it is. I only know that name because of Dogecoin.
What is that? Oh, is that the dog thing?
Yeah. They're competing against her to be like a fan favorite. So all of Reddit, Dogecoin subreddit right now is compete. Like they're trying to overvote. They're trying to get past her millions of fans to beat her as the sprint fan vote or something.
Poor Danica. Not only does she have to compete with all the douchey redneck assholes in NASCAR, but now she's fighting a dog for fans. I feel for her.
Well, they sponsored a NASCAR, like the last race, I guess. They raised money to help a guy get into, like they sponsored his car so he could race, and then he like placed and did a bunch of cool stuff. So now they're trying to vote him as the fan favorite because he's their driver, and it's pretty sweet. Look into it. It's at least fun to watch them.
Cool. I'll do that.
I don't know enough about it to talk about it.
I actually can't watch NASCAR.
Oh no, I just watched it online, just like the threads, them talking about it. I can't watch NASCAR.
It's the worst, isn't it?
I have never even given.
Sorry, NASCAR fans.
I mean, love what you love, but I've never even given it more than a chance.
It's not really worth it.
I feel like we've done a lot of mouthing, talked shit on playing at bars who paid us.
That's true. We should talk nice about something. It is kind of fun to talk shit about something.
Yeah, true. But like, I really appreciated that. Like when I was making all that money, that was like,
oh yeah,
amazing.
That's the thing is, you take the good with the bad. You keep doing those shows because you love to do what you do, but it feels good to vent about it every now and again. You know what I mean?
And most of them were awesome, but there's just some of them. It's like, man, I'm playing to nobody right now.
Yeah. And that's it's like I love a lot of the people that I do it with, and that makes it worth it when you're like seeing friends and doing all that.
So
some of them.
I really started respecting comedy as an art. Like when I finally went to see it. Like I'd seen stuff on TV, but when I finally went to see it, it's a
whole different ball game live.
It's really
absolutely
awesome.
Different live for sure, and it's a lot of fun.
I agree.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna have to think about it for probably 7 years, and then think about it for a few more years.
That was my magic year.
Really?
29.
I got a few years to go then.
How old are you now?
27.
27. Okay. I'm about to be 33.
Goodness.
I know, that's ridiculous. I should have started doing comedy when I was 20.
I should have started playing music when I was 10.
Right? We'd be rich.
I don't know. I can't imagine.
Probably not,
much
but
better.
I don't know.
We got time. At least with comedy. I mean, even with music, old people make it. We can have that dream, but with comedy, I feel like the older you are, the better they are. Comedy is different from music in that way, where like a lot of times with music, if you're the young new thing, they want you right then, they want to cash in immediately, you know what I mean, because you might be a flash in the pan, nobody might give a shit about you tomorrow. But in comedy, even if you're really good, you got to pay your dues. Even the people that are good at it pretty much immediately, I mean, you're still going to be doing it for a while before it's your career. And it's just kind of how it goes. It's real cool to talk to somebody else that knows how the scene works, I guess, but just in a completely different form. That's cool. Yeah. So I started really trying to support Tulsa comedy. That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I genuinely appreciate it. I'm glad to be here, promoting myself and local comedy.
That's cool. I'm glad. It seems like a fun scene to be in. Are there cliques?
Absolutely.
Oh man,
there always are. And my thing is, I don't really subscribe to one or the other. I genuinely pass between all of them, because I like everybody. I'm that guy that I'm nice to everybody. So I'm kind of in all of the in and out of all of the cliques, I guess. I'm probably going to get shunned from one or two of them, just for not saying that I'm in them. What? Like, you didn't say you're with us.
Where were you Tuesday night?
I'm with everybody. I'm just with people going out to shows.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I never see the cliques. I mean, I can see where some people say that's it, but it's probably something else that's stopping them from doing whatever they want to do. I'm gonna try to say it the nicest way possible. It's probably something else that it's not that. That's enough.
Yep.
Because I haven't played music with all the different, I guess, groups or styles of Tulsa, but I just go see them, and because I like most of them. Like I like.
Well, yeah, there's
just about every band.
The music clicks is like usually per genre.
Yeah.
The hardcore kids go with the hardcore kids.
Yeah.
And the singer songwriters hang with the singer songwriters.
Yeah, I guess.
And then that guy that plays the banjo floats in and out of different scenes.
Dude, the banjo's been doing good with all kinds of different styles now, man.
Oh, everybody's got a fucking banjo
It's
nowadays.
awesome. It's weird, but awesome. Like, I don't even want to say any band names, but I was pleasantly surprised to find banjo in some pretty poppy music. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that damn banjo.
It's taken over. It was a sleeper, man.
It is. I miss heavily distorted guitars and fast drum beats and stuff like that.
I never disliked punk, but I just never really got into it. I don't know.
You know what? While it's basically my favorite music, I definitely understand why it's not for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that guy that's like, I don't understand why it's not on mainstream radio. Like, I get why it's not on mainstream radio. People don't subscribe to that very easily.
I did try to sing for a hardcore band.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
It was fun.
You're screaming?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like my scream was pretty good. I couldn't recreate it.
Isn't it fun to like try and use that as a tool?
It was right when I first started even singing. I was probably like 18, 19 when I started even singing in front of people. So like about that age, I was in a hardcore band, and I pretty much, like, you couldn't have told it to me then, but my stage presence was almost entirely copied off my favorite band at the time. Like, I wouldn't have realized it.
Everybody does that.
I wouldn't have realized it, but then like somebody was like, you're not him, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then like
it translates involuntarily.
And there's a video, and I'm just like, holy, I am trying to copy him, but he like. So and then
it's involuntary.
And then I just read one random article, and the band was falling apart anyway. It was we were terrible, but we were getting really good shows, which is weird. Like, but I thought we were awesome then. But looking back, it's like, oh, we sucked. And like the drummer is like, oh, this guy's Nickelback voice doesn't need to be in our hardcore band, and he's not playing the drums anymore. Is my point.
There you go. Bam, suck it, drummer.
But what else happened? I remember reading that if you don't scream the right way, that it'll ruin your singing voice.
Absolutely.
And I was like, done.
No more.
I got to be able to sing these pretty songs.
In that band Day by Day I was in, I did the singing screaming combo platter. We were kind of that. We were in around the time when like Finch first came out, like the first Used album and all that was really popular. So we were kind of the screamo on that first wave of that stuff. So I definitely screamed a lot, and I don't think I can sing as well as I used to. Because
there's
definitely a lot more character in my voice now.
I smoked for 300 years, and I was surprised. I don't know why I was surprised, but as soon as I quit smoking cigarettes and I quit a few times and switched to vapor a few times, as soon as I did, almost instantly, my voice would just be super insanely better. And then I would quit for a while and go back to it, and so I think I'm a good 2 years in now without an actual cigarette, just because it ruined my voice. I'm 6 months without a drink, so I figure I'm gonna go one thing at a time. I'll give up cigarettes later. Right. I didn't purposely give up drinking. Like, it wasn't. I just one day just didn't like drinking. It was seriously that quick.
Unfortunately, I made it way too long before I was like, oh, I can't drink. But
lucky for me, I started feeling sick every time I took a drink, and it was just easy. And
oh man, I
started saving money.
That would have happened to me, because my tolerance was way too high. that was bad news. But
so you're a professional. Way to be.
Oh, absolutely. But I wasn't ever like an angry or like crazy drunk. So nobody really ever thought I had a problem.
Yeah.
So I got away with it forever until I just kept blacking out all the time.
I'll go ahead and say I don't think I had a problem. I just really like drinking, and I'd always. It
really. I mean, I miss it.
I mean, that could be the opposite, but I remember always being super mortified the next day every time. And I would go back to the bar and be like, I'm so sorry, you guys, I was an idiot. And they're like, whatever, you were hilarious, you were fine. And that I still felt gross afterwards. I'm so glad
I understand that. I get that.
It's weird talking about it because I never made a decision not to drink again. So like, probably this weekend I'm gonna be like, haha, wasted.
I hope that happens. For my sake.
All right, so your show, the 17th.
Yeah, we got May 17th at the Shrine at 18th in Boston. That show starts about 7 o'clock. And then May 30th at the Comedy Parlor. 8:30 or 10. I'm hoping for the late show, so keep your fingers crossed to get the late show, because I believe we can sell that one out as a team if we all get together. Tulsa.
And do you have a website or anything?
I not at the moment. I have my Facebook and my Twitter.
That's close enough.
Yeah. I got Facebook, Michael Zampino. Twitter's Michael_Zampino. Had to throw that underscore in there. And then
Jason Ferguson is a famous punter in some football team, so like all of those Jason are taken, man.
that's definitely a slightly more. I genuinely thought, like, how many Michael Zampinos can there be? And
at least one that was quicker than you.
Yep, that motherfucker.
All right, well, dude, thanks for coming to the basement, man.
Hey, I appreciate
it's really cool hanging out with you, dude.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you soon.
All right, bye, everybody. Thank you.